In the early years of the 21st century, the world was poised on the brink of a revolution. The sun hung low in the sky, casting a warm golden hue over the sprawling fields where glimmering aircraft lay dormant, their wings whispering promises of a new era. The air was thick with anticipation, the hum of innovation palpable. It was a time when electric aviation was no longer confined to the dreams of visionaries. It was becoming a reality. Across the globe, dedicated scientists and engineers converged in laboratories and hangars, driven by a shared mission to reshape the future of flight. Universities and private companies alike launched ambitious projects, their teams fueled by a combination of creativity, determination, and a profound commitment to environmental stewardship. The quest for sustainable aviation was ignited by the looming specter of climate change, pushing humanity to reconsider its relationship with the skies. In California, a group of engineers at a small startup named Aerorise made headlines with their prototype electric aircraft, the Skyglider. With its sleek design and whisper-quiet propulsion system, the Skyglider soared through the clear blue skies, leaving behind not a trail of smoke, but a clean, invisible path. The aircraft utilized advanced lithium-sulfur batteries, which offered a breakthrough in energy density, allowing for longer flights without sacrificing performance. As it ascended, it was not just a machine, it was a symbol of hope, embodying the spirit of innovation that coursed through the veins of a generation. Meanwhile, across the Atlantic, a consortium of European nations launched the Green Flight Initiative, pooling resources to accelerate research and development in electric vertical takeoff and landing (eVTOL) technology. Cities buzzed with excitement as prototypes were unveiled at air shows, showcasing their potential to transform urban transport. The eVTOLs promised to alleviate congestion, reduce urban pollution, and reconnect communities by enabling quick, efficient travel over the often choked streets below. Back in the United States, an ambitious project dubbed Project Aurora aimed to create a fleet of electric cargo drones capable of delivering goods to remote areas. In the heart of the Appalachian Mountains, a testing facility buzzed with activity as these drones, equipped with cutting-edge AI, navigated rugged landscapes with grace and precision. The impact was profound. Isolated communities that once relied on infrequent deliveries now received essential supplies at the touch of a button, fostering connection and resilience. As the decade progressed, the momentum of electric aviation surged. Major airlines began investing in hybrid electric aircraft, promising to reduce emissions by up to 50% on certain routes. The collaboration between governments and private enterprises flourished, creating a new landscape where traditional aviation giants partnered with nimble startups, blending expertise and ambition. The skies began to fill with the rhythmic hum of electric flights, a sound that resonated with the promise of a cleaner, more sustainable future. In classrooms around the world, young minds were inspired by the stories of these pioneering efforts. Students armed with knowledge of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, STEM, envisioned themselves as the next generation of aviators and innovators. They dreamed of a world where the skies were not only a realm of exploration, but a canvas for environmental healing. This was the heart of the 21st century, a time of relentless pursuit, where the journey of electric aviation was more than just a technological achievement. It was an inspiring testament to humanity's ability to rise to challenges and create a legacy of hope for generations to come. In the early years of the 21st century, the world stood on the brink of a technological revolution, a time when dreams of the past began to crystallize into reality. The hum of computer servers filled dimly lit rooms, laden with the scent of fresh coffee and the palpable excitement of discovery. It was the dawn of a new era, where visionaries from every corner of the globe were united by their shared ambition to change the world through innovation. In Silicon Valley, a group of young entrepreneurs gathered in a modest co-working space, their faces illuminated by the blue glow of their laptop screens. Among them was a spirited coder named Sarah, who had long dreamt of creating an application that would connect people across continents. As she typed furiously, her mind raced with possibilities. What if she could enable families separated by oceans to communicate effortlessly, bridging cultural divides with mere clicks? This was the vision that would soon evolve into a platform known as Facebook, a vibrant tapestry of connections that would reshape social interaction. Meanwhile, across the Atlantic in London, a brilliant inventor named Amir was immersed in a different kind of endeavor. He was obsessed with the concept of renewable energy and the potential to harness the sun's power. In his small workshop, he meticulously crafted solar panels, each reflecting his unwavering determination. With the world grappling with the looming threat of climate change, Amir believed that sustainable energy could light up not just homes, but entire nations. His innovations would later inspire governments to invest heavily in renewable resources, triggering a global shift towards sustainability that would reverberate through the decades. In an inconspicuous lab in Tokyo, a team of researchers was pushing the boundaries of artificial intelligence. Among them was Yuki, a soft-spoken scientist whose passion for robotics was matched only by her relentless pursuit of ethical technology. As she and her colleagues developed algorithms capable of learning and adapting, they envisioned a future where machines could assist in healthcare, education, and even daily household tasks. The breakthroughs they achieved would lay the groundwork for advancements in AI that transformed industries and improved countless lives. As the years unfolded, innovation burgeoned like the first blooms of spring. In 2007, Apple introduced the iPhone, a device that would not just change the way people communicated, but redefine the very essence of connectivity. Its sleek design and intuitive interface inspired a generation, sparking the mobile revolution. Suddenly, the world was at everyone's fingertips, with knowledge and technology flowing freely across borders. The impact of these early visionaries extended far beyond their individual pursuits. They were united by a collective belief that technology could foster understanding, enhance lives, and solve some of humanity's greatest challenges. They launched initiatives aimed at increasing access to education in developing countries, and used their platforms to advocate for social justice, proving that innovation could serve as a catalyst for change. As the sun set on the first decade of the 21st century, a vibrant tapestry of interconnected ideas and inventions illuminated the world. The endeavors of Sarah, Amir, Yuki, and countless others became a testament to the power of human creativity and collaboration. Their stories inspired a new generation of dreamers, reminding them that with vision, determination, and heart, they too could shape the future. The world was no longer just a place of distant dreams, it was a canvas waiting to be painted with the colors of possibility. As dawn broke over the rolling hills of California, the sun cast a golden hue across the landscape, illuminating the sleek silhouettes of aircraft nestled in the open hangars of the Santa Monica airfield. It was 2016, a year that marked not only advancements in technology, but also a significant turning point for sustainable aviation. The air was thick with anticipation, as innovators, engineers, and dreamers gathered for the inaugural Electric Flight Symposium, a tribute to the legacy of the late Paul MacCready, whose vision had ignited a revolution in flight. Amid the crowd, a young woman named Clara stood transfixed before a glimmering prototype, the Elysium 1, a remarkable electric aircraft designed to soar silently through the skies, its wings stretched wide like a bird ready to take flight. Clara, a budding aerospace engineer, had long idolized MacCready, whose pioneering spirit had first propelled her towards a career rooted in environmental stewardship. Her heart raced with excitement as she imagined what it would be like to ascend into the heavens aboard a vessel that harnessed the power of clean energy. "Remember," a voice called from the stage, and Clara turned her attention toward the speaker, a seasoned engineer named Dr. Samuel Whitaker. MacCready believed that the future of aviation lay in our ability to harness the winds of innovation, much like he harnessed the wings of the human spirit. Today we stand on the shoulders of giants, exploring the frontiers of electric flight. As Dr. Whitaker spoke, Clara could almost see the echoes of MacCready's achievements swirling around her. The man who had once transformed human-powered flight from a whimsical dream into a tangible reality had paved the way for the next generation of aviators. His imaginative designs, from the Gossamer Albatross to the Gossamer Penguin, had not only captured the world's imagination, but had also shown that flight could be reimagined with a commitment to sustainability. The symposium buzzed with energy as attendees shared their insights and breakthroughs. Clara joined a workshop led by a young entrepreneur, Maya Chen, who had developed an innovative battery technology that promised to extend the range of electric aircraft. "We're not just flying, we're charting a course for a greener planet," Maya emphasized, her eyes sparkling with passion. "Every flight we take is a step towards reducing our carbon footprint and protecting our environment for future generations. Clara felt a surge of hope as she listened to her peers discuss their dreams of a world where electric planes would glide through the skies, leaving behind nothing but whispers of their passage. The vision of a sustainable aviation industry was taking flight, and she wanted to be part of it. Later, as the sun dipped low on the horizon, casting a spectacular sunset across the sky, the crowd gathered for a special unveiling. The Elysium One, now adorned with vibrant colors and the insignia of innovation, prepared for its maiden flight. Clara held her breath as the aircraft's engines hummed to life, a sound that resonated with the promise of change. With a gentle push, the Elysium One lifted off the ground, climbing gracefully into the twilight sky. Cheers erupted from the crowd as the aircraft soared higher, a testament to human ingenuity and resilience. In that moment, Clara felt the weight of history and the thrill of possibility. The dream that McCready had ignited was no longer just a vision. It was a reality, soaring toward the future, a future that Clara and her generation would help shape, one electric flight at a time. In the crisp air of a sun-drenched morning in 2008, the world stood on the brink of a transformative leap in aviation history. The hum of engines, once a dominant soundtrack in the skies, was about to undergo a profound metamorphosis. In a small hangar, tucked away at the edge of a bustling aerodrome in Santa Rosa, California, a group of visionary engineers and dreamers were gathered, their hearts racing with anticipation. They were not merely building an aircraft, they were sculpting a new future. The project, dubbed the E-Genius, was a testament to human ingenuity and relentless pursuit of sustainability. The team had invested countless hours into the design and engineering of an electric aircraft, a concept that had long been relegated to the realms of theoretical discussion and ambitious dreams. Yet on this day, all the pieces were finally falling into place. As the first rays of sunlight streamed through the hangar doors, revealing the sleek lines of the E-Genius, excitement crackled in the air like static electricity. With its elegant wings poised and its body gleaming under the fluorescent lights, the aircraft represented more than just a technological marvel. It was a symbol of hope in an era grappling with climate change and the urgent need for cleaner energy solutions. The team members exchanged glances, their eyes bright with optimism. They understood that what they were about to achieve could redefine not only aviation, but also the world's approach to energy consumption. As the engineers ran through the final checks, the hum of electric motors began to fill the hangar, a soft, almost serene sound, markedly different from the thunderous roars of traditional jet engines. The silence was profound, a stark reminder of the shift taking place. It was a moment that encapsulated years of research, innovation, and a passionate commitment to the environment. With a deep breath, lead engineer Greg Smith climbed into the cockpit. He adjusted his headset, glancing at the team standing outside, hearts pounding with anticipation. After a brief countdown, his fingers danced over the controls, and the E-Genius began to roll forward. The aircraft glided effortlessly down the runway, a graceful ballet of technology and nature. For the first time, the world was witnessing the birth of electric aviation. The aircraft lifted off the ground, ascending into the azure sky, where the sunlight kissed its wings. As it soared higher, the engineers erupted into cheers, their voices mingling in the wind. The flight was not just a triumph for the team, it was a beacon of possibility for the entire aviation industry. In that moment, they were not merely flying, they were laying the groundwork for a new era, a future where electric planes could reduce carbon emissions and make air travel more sustainable for generations to come. News of the E-Genius's successful flight rippled across the globe, igniting passionate discussions among environmentalists, aviation enthusiasts, and policymakers alike. It became clear that the innovation represented a pivotal moment in the quest for sustainable travel. Other manufacturers began to take note, investing in electric propulsion technologies and envisioning a world where the skies could be filled with whisper-quiet aircraft, gliding gracefully above the landscapes below. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm golden glow over the airfield, the team gathered to celebrate their achievement. They knew that the journey had only just begun, but they were united in purpose, ready to continue their work in the name of progress. The birth of electric aircraft in 2008 was not merely an event, it marked the dawn of a new chapter in aviation, one that promised to honor the Earth while embracing the boundless potential of human creativity. In the crisp morning air of September 2008, the sun broke over the horizon, casting golden rays across the verdant expanse of a Slovenian airfield. The atmosphere was charged with anticipation as a small assembly of engineers, aviation enthusiasts, and curious onlookers gathered, their eyes fixed on a sleek, futuristic silhouette standing proudly on the runway. It was the Pipistrel Alpha Electro, a two-seat electric trainer, poised to make history as the world's first successful electric aircraft flight. The moment was electric, not just in the literal sense, but in the fervent energy that enveloped everyone present. For years, the aviation industry had been dominated by traditional fossil fuel engines, which, while powerful, contributed significantly to environmental degradation. The air was thick with the scent of kerosene, and the sound of roaring engines had long drowned out the whispers of innovation. But here, in this serene setting, the Alpha Electro represented a turning point, a beacon of hope that could alter the trajectory of aviation forever. As the aircraft's propeller began to spin, the crowd held its breath. The hum of the electric engine was soft and soothing, a gentle promise of what was to come, rather than the thunderous roar of conventional aircraft. With a graceful lift, the Alpha Electro ascended into the azure sky, its body glistening in the sunlight, a bird reborn, free from the chains of its fuel-powered predecessors. The cheers erupted like fireworks, a cacophony of joy and relief that resonated across the airfield. This was not merely a flight, it was a declaration that change was possible. The flight lasted just over 30 minutes, a seemingly brief journey that would echo through the ages. As the Alpha Electro glided through the sky, its electric engine demonstrating an astonishing efficiency, the implications of this flight rippled beyond the horizon. Engineers and entrepreneurs worldwide began to envision a future in which electric aircraft could revolutionize transportation, reduce carbon footprints, and pave the way for a more sustainable aviation industry. In the months and years that followed, the success of the Alpha Electro sparked a flurry of innovation. Startups and established aerospace companies alike scrambled to develop electric propulsion systems, all inspired by the dream of cleaner skies. Concepts that had once seemed like fanciful ideas, such as urban air mobility and regional electric flight, began to take shape. The aviation community was abuzz with possibilities, and the dream of creating a world where flying was both accessible and environmentally friendly became a shared vision. As the years rolled on, the flight of the Pipistrel Alpha Electro was celebrated not only as a technological achievement, but as a cultural milestone. It symbolized humanity's growing awareness of environmental stewardship and the commitment to forge a new path in the skies. Schools began to teach the principles of electric aviation, inspiring a new generation of engineers and pilots to think outside the box. Workshops and symposiums sprang up around the globe, fostering collaboration and knowledge sharing that transcended borders. In the heart of this movement was a profound realization. The sky was no longer the limit, it was an open canvas, waiting for innovators to paint a brighter, cleaner future for all. The legacy of that first flight resonated deeply, reminding humanity that with vision, creativity, and determination, the impossible could indeed become possible. In the bustling tech hubs of Silicon Valley, New York City, and beyond, the decade of the 2010s ignited a wildfire of entrepreneurial spirit that reshaped the global economy. It was a time when ideas sparkled like stars in a night sky, illuminating the path for countless innovators determined to change the world. The air was thick with possibility, and the hum of creativity resonated in co-working spaces, coffee shops, and universities alike. As dawn broke over San Francisco, the sun cast a golden hue across the bay, reflecting the ambitions of a new generation. Young visionaries, armed with laptops and boundless enthusiasm, gathered in conference rooms adorned with whiteboards filled with sketches and flowcharts. Among them was Sarah, a software engineer who had recently left her stable job to pursue her dream of revolutionizing healthcare through technology. With her startup, she envisioned a platform that could connect patients with doctors in real time, bridging gaps in communication and making healthcare more accessible. The spirit of innovation was not confined to just one city. Across the globe, entrepreneurs from diverse backgrounds were embracing the startup culture. In Bangalore, India, a group of engineers had come together to create a mobile payment solution that catered to the country's large unbanked population. Their app, simple and intuitive, enabled millions to engage in financial transactions securely and efficiently. As they worked late into the night, fueled by chai and camaraderie, they were not just building a product, they were igniting a financial revolution. Meanwhile, in Berlin, the startup scene thrived in a vibrant mosaic of creativity and technology. Coders and artists collaborated, blurring the lines between art and commerce. One such collaboration birthed a platform that connected local artists with art enthusiasts, allowing for a flourishing of creativity and cultural exchange. The energy in the air was palpable, as each successful launch was celebrated not just as a business achievement, but as a victory for the entire community. These moments of triumph were often punctuated by the exhilarating atmosphere of pitch competitions, where budding entrepreneurs showcased their ideas to seasoned investors. The stakes were high, but so were the rewards. Those who succeeded not only received funding, but also invaluable mentorship that would shape their journeys. Investors, too, felt the pulse of change. They recognized that nurturing these startups was akin to planting seeds for future prosperity. Social entrepreneurship also flourished during this era, with many startups driven by a mission to tackle societal challenges. A well-known example was a company founded by a group of university students who set out to create sustainable food sources. They developed vertical farming systems that could thrive in urban environments, reducing the carbon footprint associated with traditional agriculture. Their innovations inspired cities worldwide to rethink food production and distribution, leading to healthier communities and a more sustainable planet. As the decade progressed, the impact of these startups rippled across industries, transforming how people lived, worked, and interacted. The rise of the gig economy offered new avenues for employment, allowing individuals to pursue their passions on their terms. Innovations in artificial intelligence, renewable energy, and biotechnology emerged, each contributing to a more connected and efficient world. The 2010s were not merely a chapter in history, but a vibrant tapestry woven from the threads of ambition, creativity, and collaboration. Each startup was a beacon of hope, illuminating paths for future generations to follow. The world, once an expanse of untapped potential, was now alive with the sound of innovation. In the vibrant atmosphere of the 2010s, a palpable excitement surged through the aviation industry, akin to the hum of 1,000 eager engines revving for takeoff. This decade marked a pivotal moment in history as a constellation of innovative startups began to redefine the skies. In garages and laboratories across the globe, visionary engineers and entrepreneurs were embarking on a quest to harness the power of electric flight. Among the trailblazers, magniX stood out, its headquarters buzzing with the energy of hope and ambition. The company was founded on a simple yet profound belief that the future of aviation could be cleaner and more sustainable. As the sun filtered through the large windows of their workspace, casting dappled light on sketches of sleek, electric aircraft, a team of engineers gathered around a prototype propulsion system. The air was thick with anticipation. Each new development felt like a small revolution. Across the ocean, in the heart of California, Ampere was equally determined to leave its mark. They pursued a hybrid electric aircraft that combined the reliability of traditional aviation with the promise of reduced emissions. The team often gathered outdoors, where the scent of eucalyptus and the distant sound of waves crashing against the shore served as a reminder of nature's fragility. Each brainstorming session transformed into a lively discussion about the immense potential of electric aviation. It was not just about creating aircraft, it was about reshaping the industry and fostering a sustainable future. As the decade unfolded, these companies began to attract attention, not only from investors eager to be part of this green revolution, but also from a new generation of talent drawn to the vision of a cleaner sky. Startups like magniX and Ampere became beacons of innovation, illuminating the path toward electric aviation with their bold ideas and relentless pursuit of perfection. The world watched as they unveiled their prototypes, each launch drawing crowds of enthusiasts and skeptics alike, eager to witness the dawn of a new era. In the midst of this enthusiasm, the realization dawned that electric aviation was not merely a dream, but an achievable goal. With each successful test flight, the narrative shifted from if to when. Communities began to rally behind these initiatives, envisioning a future where electric planes would soar above their towns and cities, reducing noise and pollution while connecting people in ways previously thought impossible. The impact of these innovations extended far beyond the confines of the aviation industry. Schools began to incorporate electric aviation into their curriculums, inspiring young minds to explore engineering, environmental science, and entrepreneurship. Conferences dedicated to sustainable aviation flourished, bringing together thought leaders, policymakers, and innovators to discuss the challenges and possibilities that lay ahead. As the sun set on the 2010s, casting a golden hue over bustling airports and quiet runways, the promise of electric aviation shimmered brightly on the horizon. The visionaries who dared to challenge the status quo had not only ignited a movement, but also paved the way for a cleaner, more sustainable future. The air was filled with the scent of possibility, and the world, united in its quest for innovation, looked to the skies with hope, ready to embrace the electric age of aviation. As dawn broke over the sprawling metropolis of Tokyo in 2016, the sun cast its golden rays across the glass facades of the skyscrapers, illuminating a city that pulsed with innovation and ambition. That morning, a pivotal moment in global regulatory history was unfolding, as leaders from diverse nations gathered for the inaugural session of the Global Regulatory Summit. The air buzzed with anticipation, charged with the promise of collaboration and progress. Delegates from over 50 countries, adorned in tailored suits and national colors, filled the grand hall of the Tokyo International Forum. The atmosphere was thick with a sense of purpose. They were here to forge new pathways in regulatory support that would embrace emerging technologies and safeguard citizens while fostering economic growth. Each nation brought its own tapestry of experiences, woven from both triumphs and challenges faced in the face of rapid technological advancements. At the center of this gathering stood Dr. Akira Tanaka, a prominent figure in Japan's regulatory landscape, known not only for his expertise, but also for his unwavering belief that regulations should empower rather than hinder innovation. He stepped up to the podium, the soft hum of anticipation settling into a respectful silence. "Today," he began, his voice resonating through the hall, "we embark on a journey to redefine how we govern the technologies that shape our lives. Together, we will create an environment where innovation flourishes within the bounds of safety and responsibility." As he spoke, images flashed across a large screen behind him, depictions of groundbreaking technologies that had emerged in recent years. Artificial intelligence poised to revolutionize healthcare, renewable energy solutions combating climate change, and blockchain technologies ensuring transparency in global finance. Each image was a testament to human ingenuity, a promise of a brighter future that lay just beyond the horizon. The summit was not merely a conference, it was a crucible for ideas and a forge for policies that would ripple across borders. Delegates engaged in spirited discussions, exchanging insights on best practices and innovative approaches to regulatory frameworks. A small group from the European Union shared their recent success in harmonizing data protection laws, a move that had bolstered consumer trust and spurred economic growth in the digital market. In the back of the room, Maria Gomez, a young entrepreneur from Brazil, listened intently. She had come to the summit with a vision of developing a mobile application that would connect farmers with urban markets. Inspired by the discussions, she saw how regulatory support could provide the backbone for her venture. With newfound determination, she approached a group of regulators during a break, eager to discuss how her app could align with existing frameworks while addressing local food security challenges. By the close of the summit, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the city, delegates signed the Tokyo Accord, a landmark agreement that aimed to promote regulatory coherence across nations, ensuring that innovation thrived within a safe and supportive environment. The accord was a beacon of hope, illuminating a path forward where creativity and responsibility could coexist harmoniously. As participants departed the forum, they carried with them the spirit of collaboration, a shared commitment to building a future that harnessed the potential of technology for the common good. The world was poised on the brink of transformation, and the seeds of progress had been sown in Tokyo's storied halls. The story of regulatory support was just beginning, and the echoes of that historic day would resonate for generations to come. As the sun began to rise over the sprawling landscape of Silicon Valley, a new dawn was breaking, not just for the day, but for the future of aviation itself. The air was filled with anticipation, a palpable energy coursing through the streets and offices where engineers, entrepreneurs, and dreamers gathered. Their gaze was firmly set on the skies, where the promise of electric aircraft loomed ever closer, tantalizingly within reach. In 2022, the Federal Aviation Administration (FAA) unveiled a groundbreaking framework for the certification of electric aircraft, a move that would fundamentally change the trajectory of the aviation industry. This innovative regulatory support was a beacon of encouragement for manufacturers worldwide, igniting a fervor of enthusiasm and investment in electric aviation technologies. Suddenly, the once distant dream of soaring silently through the clouds on the power of clean energy was beginning to crystallize into reality. A small, agile startup named Aero Elysium had seized on this opportunity. Led by a diverse team of engineers and visionaries, the company was at the forefront of this electrifying revolution. In their sleek, glass-walled headquarters, the hum of electric tools and the scent of fresh paint mingled with the vibrant conversations of passionate minds. The walls were adorned with blueprints of their latest prototype, the Elysium One, a sleek, whisper-quiet aircraft designed for short-haul travel, embodying a fusion of elegance and efficiency. As the team gathered for their morning briefing, they reflected on the significance of the FAA's new regulations. "This framework isn't just a set of rules," Maria, the chief engineer, remarked, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. "It's a lifeline for innovation. It tells us that we can push boundaries, that safety and sustainability can go hand in hand." With each passing day, the team worked tirelessly, pouring their hearts into creating an aircraft that would not only meet safety standards, but also redefine the very experience of flying. They envisioned a world where families could travel to distant cities without the guilt of carbon footprints, where business trips could be made without the burden of environmental impact. The quiet hum of the Elysium One in flight would symbolize not just technological achievement, but a collective commitment to a cleaner, greener future. The historical significance of the FAA's certification framework could not be understated. It was a turning point reminiscent of past aviation milestones, the dawn of commercial air travel, the introduction of the jet engine, and the emergence of sustainable fuel sources. Each of these moments had paved the way for the next chapter in aviation history, and now, electric flight was poised to take its place alongside them. Beyond the walls of Aero Elysium, the implications of this innovation spread like ripples across the globe. Major manufacturers began to invest in electric solutions, research institutions launched initiatives to develop advanced battery technologies, and governments worldwide began to revise their own regulations to support this burgeoning industry. The collaborative spirit was invigorating, as the world came together to envision a future where all could share the skies, safely, sustainably, and harmoniously. As the team prepared for their first test flight, a sense of unity enveloped them. They were not just building an aircraft, they were crafting a legacy. The Elysium One was about to take to the air, carrying with it the hopes and dreams of a planet on the brink of transformation. And as it soared into the blue expanse above, the world below held its breath, witnessing the birth of a new era in aviation, one where innovation, safety, and sustainability soared together. In the early days of 2017, the world was on the brink of a technological renaissance, one that promised to reshape the very fabric of daily life. As the sun rose over bustling cities from Tokyo to San Francisco, a quiet revolution was brewing in laboratories, research centers, and startups focused on a single goal: to create batteries that could transform energy storage and usage as we knew it. At the heart of this groundbreaking movement was a diverse group of scientists and engineers, united by a common vision: to develop a breakthrough battery technology that would not only enhance electric vehicles, but also enable renewable energy sources to flourish. The air buzzed with excitement and determination as teams worked late into the night, fueled by coffee and an unwavering belief in their mission. Among them was Dr. Maya Patel, a materials scientist whose passion for sustainable energy was ignited during her childhood in a small village in India. She watched her family struggle with inconsistent electricity, their lives dictated by the whims of weather and outdated infrastructure. Now, as she sat at her workstation, surrounded by vials of lithium, cobalt, and a new experimental polymer, she felt the weight of that childhood experience pressing her forward. Each calculation, each experiment, was a step closer to a world where clean energy was not just a dream, but a reality. In the spring of 2017, the atmosphere in Dr. Patel's lab was electric. They had been working tirelessly on a lithium-sulfur battery, which promised greater energy density and longer life cycles than traditional lithium-ion batteries. The team believed that with the right tweaks to the molecular structure, they could achieve unprecedented efficiency. Whispers of their progress began to ripple through the scientific community, igniting curiosity and hope. As the months slipped by, their prototype began to take shape. On a bright June morning, under the warm glow of the sun streaming through the lab's windows, Dr. Patel and her team gathered for what would be a pivotal moment. With bated breath, they connected their battery to a small electric vehicle. The room held its breath, and as the vehicle roared to life for the first time, exhilaration swept through the air. Cheers erupted, echoing off the sterile lab walls, a symphony of triumph that signified not just an accomplishment, but the dawn of a new era. The implications of their discovery rippled across the globe. Major automotive companies began to take notice, investing in partnerships to refine and scale this innovative technology. The promise of longer-lasting batteries meant that electric vehicles could travel further on a single charge, reducing the reliance on fossil fuels and empowering sustainable transportation. In the months that followed, cities began to embrace this shift, with charging stations popping up like wildflowers, and infrastructure blossoming around a cleaner, greener future. Dr. Patel's work inspired a movement, a collective awakening that ignited the imaginations of the next generation of scientists, engineers, and dreamers. Schools and universities began to emphasize energy innovation, encouraging students to explore the realms of chemistry, physics, and environmental science. Young minds, once daunted by the complexity of these subjects, now found themselves inspired by the promise of a brighter future. As the sun set on the year of the breakthrough, the world stood at the precipice of change. What had begun as a flicker of hope in a lab had ignited a global transformation, a reminder that through perseverance, collaboration, and a touch of imagination, humanity could tackle even the most daunting challenges. The future shimmered with potential, illuminated by the glow of innovation and possibility. In the early years of the 21st century, a quiet revolution was underway in laboratories and research centers scattered across the globe. Scientists and engineers, driven by a passion for sustainability and innovation, were fervently working on a groundbreaking solution to one of the most pressing challenges facing the aviation industry: the quest for efficient, long-lasting energy sources that could power the aircraft of the future. The air was thick with anticipation, and the hum of creativity echoed through the halls of institutions dedicated to pushing the boundaries of technology. Among the most promising developments was the lithium-sulfur battery. Unlike its predecessors, the lithium-ion battery, which had dominated the market for decades, the lithium-sulfur battery held the potential for a monumental leap in energy density. As researchers carefully analyzed the intricate chemical reactions within these batteries, they began to unlock a treasure trove of possibilities. The bright spark of discovery ignited hopes of longer flight ranges and the realization of electric aviation as a viable reality. In a sun-drenched laboratory in California, a team of engineers, led by Dr. Elena Mendez, celebrated the successful synthesis of a new cathode material that could significantly enhance the performance of lithium-sulfur batteries. The room buzzed with excitement as Dr. Mendez, a visionary in her field, unveiled the prototype. It was a sleek, unassuming battery that held within it the promise of a greener future. The engineers gathered around, eyes wide with wonder, while Dr. Mendez explained the science behind their achievement. "By utilizing sulfur, we can increase the energy capacity," she said, her voice brimming with enthusiasm. "This means our electric aircraft can fly farther and more efficiently than ever before." As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden hue over the laboratory, the team embarked on rigorous testing. They watched, breathless, as results poured in, confirming their hopes. The lithium-sulfur batteries surpassed expectations, providing not only longer flight times, but also a lighter payload for aircraft. This breakthrough was pivotal for the budding electric aviation industry, as it addressed the critical issue of limited battery life that had long stymied progress. Across the globe, the news of this technological leap sent ripples through the aviation community. Aircraft manufacturers, inspired by the advancements in battery technology, began to envision a new era. Companies that once relied heavily on fossil fuels started pivoting toward electric models, investing resources in research and development. The once distant dream of emission-free skies began to take form, and the potential for sustainable travel ignited imaginations worldwide. The first electric passenger aircraft, powered by the innovative lithium-sulfur batteries, took to the skies. As it soared gracefully above the clouds, its engines whispering rather than roaring, it symbolized not just a triumph of engineering, but a collective commitment to the planet. Communities gathered to witness this historic moment, their faces illuminated by the soft glow of the aircraft's wings, embodying a shared hope for a cleaner, more connected world. Through determination and collaboration, humanity was on the brink of transforming aviation. The advances in battery technology represented more than just a scientific achievement. They were a testament to the relentless pursuit of innovation, serving as a beacon of inspiration for future generations. The skies, once dominated by the sounds of combustion, were beginning to embrace the serene hum of electric propulsion, heralding a new dawn for the aviation industry, a future where the beauty of flight harmonized with the health of the planet. As dawn broke over the picturesque coastline of Vancouver, the air buzzed with palpable excitement. The year was 2019, and the world was on the brink of a revolution in aviation. A crowd gathered at the airport, a diverse tapestry of engineers, environmentalists, journalists, and eager travelers, all drawn together by a singular moment in history: the first all-electric commercial flight. The sun cast a golden hue across the tarmac, illuminating the sleek silhouette of the electric aircraft, the E-Flyer 2. Its polished exterior shimmered, reflecting the hopes and dreams of countless innovators who had spent years tirelessly working toward this milestone. The aircraft stood not merely as a marvel of engineering, but as a testament to humanity's determination to combat climate change and reshape the future of air travel. As the clock ticked closer to the scheduled departure, the atmosphere throbbed with vigor. Children perched on their parents' shoulders, eyes wide with wonder, while seasoned pilots exchanged knowing glances, recalling the days when aviation was synonymous with jet fuel and carbon emissions. Today was different. Today, they were witnessing the dawn of a new era. The E-Flyer 2, designed by the visionary company By Aerospace, was powered by a state-of-the-art electric propulsion system. Its engine, silent yet potent, promised to usher in an age of sustainable air travel. As the flight crew conducted their final checks, a sense of history enveloped the scene. Strides toward a greener planet were being made in real time. With a gentle hum, the aircraft's engines came to life. It was a sound unlike any other, a quiet promise of efficiency and innovation. The pilots, seasoned professionals with years of experience, wore expressions of both pride and determination. They understood the weight of this moment, not just for themselves, but for future generations who would inherit the skies. As the plane taxied toward the runway, a wave of cheers erupted from the crowd. Cameras clicked, capturing the moment for posterity. The world was watching, eager to witness the unfolding of a dream that had seemed so distant just a few years prior. As the E-Flyer 2 lined up, the pilots exchanged nods, their hearts racing with anticipation. Ready for departure, came the familiar voice over the intercom, tinged with excitement. With a final check of the instruments and a deep breath, the plane surged forward, lifting off the ground with a grace that belied its technological prowess. The E-Flyer 2 climbed higher, gliding through the cerulean sky, a symbol of hope and progress. Below, the lush expanse of forests and oceans unfurled like a patchwork quilt. Each passenger aboard was not merely a traveler. They were pioneers in a journey toward sustainability, embracing the lightness of flight without the burden of pollution. As the aircraft soared, the significance of this moment rippled through the hearts of those on the ground and in the skies. This was more than just a flight. It was a declaration that the future of aviation could be clean, efficient, and harmonious with nature. With each passing minute, the E-Flyer 2 etched its place in history, an emblem of human ingenuity and a beacon of hope for a world striving to reconcile progress with preservation. In that moment, as the sun bathed the earth in its warm embrace, the first all-electric commercial flight marked the beginning of an inspiring new chapter, one where the skies could once again be a place of wonder, free from the shadows of pollution.